You only have 10,000 years of creation. Fun, fun, fun stuff. Box.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Wait, I mean, fruits. You have the picture I sent through of the pill bottles and all that. Maybe you can show my hobby progress that way and just like throw up a picture. That'd be amazing. Hi, Lily.
Okay. Well. Oh, it's because. Okay. I was like, what'd I break? What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Mythos from Wolf Brother Hobbies, and welcome to tonight's show. And of course, with me is the amazing Rob from.
TMP, the miniatures paintbrush. How are you, friend?
And as always, Rob is down in the description below. This time, not just in the Friends of Wolf Brother Hobbies, but also I've got him directly below, so you can check out his amazing channel. And you know what? I am so professional. You know what I didn't do tonight is I did actually share the link around before going live because I'm so pro. Um,
Oh,
so if you want to take a second to say something to the nice people, I am going to.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We have a great show planned for everybody today. I think it's going to be really interesting, especially with the huge summer reveals. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, of course, our hobby progress, which we've gotten so much done this week. I've been working like a fiend for sure. And I picked up the new drop pod, which I'll show you in a bit. So that's going to be neat. I'll show you said box. It's going to be all glittery and glorious. And my goal is to assemble 5 blood claws before the end of the show. Let's see if we can actually hit that goal. That would be amazing. But there's a lot of hobby progress that we're doing throughout the week. So we want to hear what you're working on. That would be amazing. And if you're watching this show after it's live, then please put it down into the little comments down there. Tell us what you're working on. I think it would be amazing if we can go together as a community. Challenge yourself with something that scares you every single day. And every single day, you'll get a little bit better. Before you know it, you'll hit all your goals.
Heck yeah. That is something Brother Rob always encourages, especially on his channel, is always making sure to improve yourself. Sarah Kitty, good evening. Gamers with Coffee Ashley can barely hear him.
Oh, me? Let me see if I can turn up my volume. How about now?
And then I can tweak you a little bit in the background, I think, too. I'll bump him up just a little bit. How's he sounding there, guys?
Hello, 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 everyone. Hi, friends. Tell us what you're working on down in the chat.
Let us know if that's any better, team. We got 5 viewers in the house tonight. Good to see all of you. I'm going to start off the night still the same. Interesting. And this is one of those things I always dread on live streams is that, like I haven't made any changes to the system and everything is registering fine on the streaming software. And on my end, I can hear you the same as always, but I'm not sure where the disconnect, like on the mixer, it looks the same. I'm not sure where the disconnect is coming from. What if I increase this here?
Hello, hello, hello.
Did that make any difference, Sam?
Actually,
Yeah.
a neat story with that song. I'm saying melody. When I was in high school, I serenaded a girl by singing said song.
Really?
Yes, I was quite the hopeless romantic.
I was just the same as a young lad. I don't know if I'm still the same level of romantic. I would like to hope so, but is there any other settings I can adjust?
Am I still low?
They said it's about the same. Yeah.
Oh no. I am so sorry. It's weird.
Yeah, like I said, it's the same settings as last week. Video and voice. Okay, so these are my voice settings.
Now I am speaking inside a hobby desk, so that might be. I'm thinking about getting better mics actually for this stream, but I would have to invest. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Well, I guess the wait, we go here. Oh wait, user volume. Let's crank this up to like 150. See
Let's
if
blow out people's eardrums. Let's do it.
okay. So I changed the setting in the Discord call. Let's well, hopefully that'll make a difference. And if not, we can go for my old tried and true method of giving up and hoping for the best.
That always works. Like go social. All right, there. That's what it is.
10% of the time, it works 50% of the time.
It's great.
All right. So, like you said, we got a great show tonight. We do have some progress. I didn't do like Rob and take a neat picture of everything all together on neat pill bottles. So maybe I'll snap a quick desktop picture. Yeah,
Nice.
let's cover up my work serial number so I don't get in trouble with work. But I did complete my pack of 10 falling over blood claws. Their poses worry me. I feel like I'm going to need to weigh them down or something.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I put magnets at the bottom of all my minis.
I think I
Hmm.
might have to peg some of these things, and no, not that kind of pegging. This is not that kind of show. I have to peg the legs down to the base.
It's not that kind of show, right? Just check. Just check. No, right? Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes I say things and I listen to how it sounds, and I'm like, yeah, that does sound weird. Oopsie. So, what would you like to start with today? Great show plan.
Well, I always like to start with a bit of a hobby update, so I'm going to show some of our pictures and people can see where we've gotten to in the hobby. And guys, we'd love to know what you've been up to in the hobby as well.
Down there in the comments, or if you're watching the show after in the future, put some down in those comments down there because we love to hear from you.
Yeah. And of course, last week when we talked, I had overdone accidentally my 5 custodies. I'd overdone the enamel wash and let it dry too hard. And so I had to do a lot of cleanup. And throughout the week, I chipped away at it, going back and layering up and toning back down and, working the paint back and forth. And that's a great thing to remind everyone is if you have a mix up on your paint job, if something gets splashed in the wrong place or colors don't come out the way you want, remember that painting is not usually just, get everything right in one go. There's often, to get a good result, there's often a process of working paint back and forth. So don't be discouraged if something doesn't come out exactly the way you want it on the first go. Because I mess.
Sometimes, sorry.
I was just gonna say I mess up all the time.
Some people ask me, "What's your specific paint recipe?" And I said, "I can give you the paints that I use, but I go back and forth so many times in different dilutions and stuff like that. It's somewhere between this color and that color. I kind of mix them together and I go on a gradient." That's what usually happens for me. But yeah, I mess up all the time. I have shaky hands.
I don't believe it. A pro like Rob, I don't believe it.
No, I'm just learning like everybody else. But we're all on different paths of the journey, right? So
I'm just saying,
Started a path. Mhm.
he's gone to Nova Open and competed against the best in the world. Literally. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, there are 3 classes you can do. You can do the beginner's class, the journeyman's class, and then, we're all like the Sam Lenses and the Trencherellos. That's the pro class. I came in 4th. So, but I've been told by people, Eric Svensson and stuff like that, if I come one year and I have a piece and I'm not sure about it, let them take a look at it before I enter it officially. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means, but okay. So you could paint right up until they judge, Oh, a lot of people do.
That's
That's the thing.
that's got to add to the intimidation level. Like, okay, guys, I've been working for hundreds of hours. I think it's finally where I need to be. You can paint up till the last minute.
And all you need to hear is, oops.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we're still good on the chat. And now I have our pictures, and I'm going to pull them up. First, we're going to do our hobby update from Rob's side.
Ooh, hobby progress. I have been a machine.
He has. I cannot fathom how much progress he's gotten done. Okay.
Let me know when the picture is up.
Yep. Here we go. Articles and art. And Messenger. And Messenger.
So I've been busy building. What Mythos is going to bring up is
Huh?
I was making sure you were aware that
30 blood claws. No, 30 gray hunters. 2 wolf priests. 6 head takers. And 2 wolf pack leaders. And a partridge in a pear tree. Yeah, pretty much. And now I have 40 blood claws that I'm working on right now. But I did pick up some more models because, I enjoy torture. I'm looking to get this army up and running as soon as possible with a really high quality because I can't put anything in my cabinet that I can't be proud of. I need to be like, yeah, I did that. And knowing that in a couple of years I'll look at the paint jobs and be like, man, that's just subpar. But I was so proud of it when I painted it. Oh, goodness.
Okay. I don't understand what is going on now.
Oh, what is happening?
I'm having trouble with my screen share.
There's that. You can imagine how much that is. I'm quite the OCD person, so I have to have everything organized, and I don't know. It's when I organize my bills, and I don't know, Chad, if you let me know how you organize your bills, if you just throw things together and whatever. Do you clip on the edge of your computer and with the keyboard in front of you? And if so, have you ever clipped a piece and it wind up between the keys? Or do you actually write out a plan or have a plan of action like I do? I actually have to have everything visually organized for myself. So I put it on my gaming table and I line them up perfectly. And I see the scope of my project as a whole before I attack it. I'm very methodical when it comes to my bills and my projects. And I don't know, it just makes me feel all warm and cozy when I know a plan is coming together and it's coming together well. All right, Sam.
You can
so far, out of the 5 blood claws that I was going to build, I got one done.
Nice. That is early in the night too. Bam, you can you can see his great plan laid out here. Look at all those pill bottles. Look at all those pill bottles. The FDA is probably looking for some of these right now.
Yeah, no, see, I always find that the older that I get, the more pill bottles. You know, I once I hit 50, oh my gosh, it's so many pills. And I have more. I just went over to the big box store, Home Depot, and I got myself some really fine crushed gravel that's meant for patio blocks, which, by the way, makes excellent terrain. If you're going to do some, if you want to have gravel bases or something like that, you can actually do that because it's aggregate and it has the various sizes. It looks great, by the way.
That's true.
But I put those inside the pill bottles to weigh the pill bottles down because if not, they flip and fly everywhere. So I actually, they're weighted.
Oh, so they can do double duty as basing and terrain stuff, but also weigh down your expert painting handles.
There it is. Yeah, I love multiple uses for things. Absolutely. I think that is the way to go.
Absolutely. They say unitaskers are kind of a great place for professional clutter, and so having things that can do multiple jobs is a great way to keep your hobby space organized. Or it's also a popular saying in the kitchen, so you can also keep your kitchen organized.
Nice. Yeah, I like both of those things. I have to reorganize my kitchen now. It's a good thing I'm a teacher and I have all. Yeah, speaking of organization, I have some news with the Hobby Progress. I don't know if it would apply to said Hobby Progress, but I am doing my third move of my TMP studios. But this time it's not going to be to a house. It's actually going to be a room upstairs. I have 7 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms in this house. It's huge. There's just 3 of us, so I'm converting one of the rooms into a hobby corner and a studio with a background so I can record videos and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to have a dedicated space to record things. So that's going to be new.
That is awesome.
Yep, one thing at a time.
So what's going to happen to the basement hobby area?
Well, this is actually main floor.
Oh, okay. Oh.
This whole thing.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so, but the wargaming table that I built, 4x6 table recessed.
And you can see that table in the background.
Yeah, also I have a video, if you check my channel, on how I built it step by step. So you can actually build it too. And I've been scolded by some people saying that, when they want to build a game table, they just take some 2x4s and slap some, things on it and throw it together. But when I build it, it takes me 2 years. I biscuit join things. I reclaim wood, and it's cherry wood with oak, and I fill out. They actually mill out the pencil holders and everything else, and I go full tilt to do it. So. But yeah, that's me. It's okay.
Guess who we have in the chat tonight? We got
Who's that?
longtime live show partner for the TMP, Ian from Shameless Soul in the house.
Yes,
Oh man, I remember watching you 3 way, way, way back in early TMP days.
That's right. Wasn't.
Yep.
Pretty awesome. We had some.
Shameless brother, how you been? How you living?
Yeah, man. I'm in.
He says, "Oh man, I made the live. So good to see you, man. Hope you've been well."
Mm-hmm. Yep. You and I have been through some rocky things.
Ian was painting up orcs on your channel at one point, right?
Yes. He has lots of orcs, lots of Death Guard, if I remember correctly.
Yep, I remember his Leviathan, his Death Guard Leviathan on the channel.
Yes, and knights.
Yes.
Yeah, knights. So many knights. I've never seen anyone own so many knights before in my life. And that's saying a lot, because I know a lot of hobby people.
Speaking of which, a bit of hobby progress for me tomorrow. I have my final game against um, the Orcs, the final game in my narrative league, using maybe my final game with the Custodies this year. Um, Against the Orcs tomorrow, we're playing 18. I'm playing 1830. He only has 1835 in Orcs, so yeah, so that's what we're going to be playing, and so it's the narrative league ends at the end of this month. Next weekend is my niece's birthday, so we're going to spend the day going to a birthday party for her and hanging out with some of the family, having a good time. And so I'm just going to make this weekend my last weekend to play in the league. And after that, like I've been focusing on Custodes since I signed up for the narrative in February, I think. So that's like half the year right now, just focused on Custodes. And with this being the big release for Space Wolves, the rest of the year is going to be the wolf time. So
You're the wolf.
yes, sir. Shameless says, I'm doing good. Just happy to hear some wolf talk from my hobby brothers. Good, brother. Good to see you, man. Uh, some other hobby progress that I have. Let me pull up here. I don't know why I bothered to leave the articles and art page. Okay, do this again without breaking it. Nope. We're going to go down to last week. I don't know if you guys remembered. I ended up with a funky pose on a model I ended up calling Moon Moon. And I found the perfect bit to make the pose look more natural. So I had messed up the leg alignment on these two-part legs that don't quite meet the torso except for the top. And so I messed up the alignment and he ended up with his foot up in the air. But then, first of all, that resulted in a butt gap. So I've covered that up in the front with a pelt and then a pelt cape in the back. But for his foot being up in the air, I found the perfect height on this Thousand Suns helmet. So it looks like he's standing, on it dominantly rather than just having his leg up in the air, Moon Moon style. So he's still going to be named Moon Moon. His identity's been established. There's lore on this guy now, but he looks much cooler.
Very cool.
Here's some of the
Do
green,
not mess with the Moon Moon.
the green stuff. Say what?
Do not mess with Moon Moon.
Do not mess with Moon Moon. The fur cloak in the back, and then yeah, just the alignment. It's funny because that side ridge on that Thousand Suns helmet, it slotted perfectly in like where the Space Marine boot is, kind of has like a little groove between the heel and the front part of the foot. It just slotted in perfectly, like it was meant to go there. So
Yeah, and your work on that green stuff work, it came out excellent.
oh, thanks, man. The front was like one of those little tabards you can hang from a Space Marine belt. I just spread some green stuff on there and then added in the texture. Then the back, I rolled kind of flat some for the cape. I rolled out flat kind of some green stuff in like a relatively kind of triangle shape I wanted to use for the cape, and then I let it sit there for about 30 minutes to get less tacky. And then I took one of those green stuff world fur mats and pressed down on it. So that little mat works perfectly. And I gotta admit, I had a lot of trouble using that mat until it was you who explained to me that when you're sculpting green stuff, you gotta let it sit out for about 20, 30 minutes to get less sticky. I used to get so frustrated because the green stuff would just get stuck on the inside. So there's a hobby tip for you guys this week. You guys know that joining us in this challenge, we're trying to give ourselves 3 months to build and paint one full Space Wolves army box, and Hellworks from Hellchild, or by Hellchild, is joining us on this channel. He's brand new channel, is going to be publishing new content, and he has got a new logo going for the start of his channel, and he's got he's testing out his logo on some shirts and stuff like that. So Hellworks will be joining us, and then also Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor. will be joining us as well. You often see him here on Fridays here in the chat, and of course his link is down in the Friends of Wolf Brother Hobbies below.
Yep. Well, I'm planning to get 2 of those boxes done in that time.
Oh,
Hopefully.
you know, with the progress you've made so far, I don't doubt it. So last week we started building these. I ended up last Friday on 6 of these blood claws finished. There's the full pack of 10, and then I even got 2 gray hunters done. Not nearly as much as Brother Rob, but yeah.
Not a competition.
And please don't mind the messy hobby desk in the background. I got a couple of GW boxes there, alcohol pads from changing out the FEP on my the FEP on my 3D printer. I got some Yu-Gi-Oh boxes back here. I've got 5 Parsecs from Home, which is a great RPG book I'm looking forward to, and then some more sprues and books. Don't mind all the all the hobby mess back
Hobby creep is a thing.
here.
It's just natural.
But yeah, there's my build so far. And then last week, like I said, I had made the mistake of overdoing it with the enamel washes. So lots of cleanup and highlights were needed this week, but I think I got my custodies pretty much where I want them. I probably need to go ahead and do the basing and the airbrush on these blades real quick before bed tonight, because I do need to use these in tomorrow's game. Well, the guardians, anyways. The blade captain I won't need in the battle, but yeah, the battle line guys I will need. So I need to airbrush the blades and do the basing real quick before bed. But yeah, they're mostly done, and that'll be 6 more minis, on the books. So. And of course, after doing washes, I mean, I always do some touch-ups and highlights anyways, just because I try not to leave washes as the last step of a project. But just because of the mishap with with the enamel, it just required a lot more cleanup and highlight. So that is my hobby update. Video game.
Use a wash as the last step.
Hmm?
Use the wash as the last step.
I try not to. So usually there's like some highlighting up afterwards. But I was just saying that this particular week it was like less like a few like spot highlights and stuff like that, and more like clean up and then highlight.
Nice. Cool.
Thankfully though, my custodies recipe is using so the gel based scale 75 paints, and they come out so matte, and they're perfect for thinning down that you can do very subtle layers, and you don't have to worry about obliterating the shades you've done with your wash. They're really good for that kind of thing.
I love gel medium for that purpose specifically. For airbrushing, they're so nice.
Yeah. Now they are a little less good, or like they're really good for not obscuring your details with dark paint, so you're not likely to cover your shades. They are very kind of strong for lighter colors, so like they're less obvious when you do them on a zenithal style or a white highlighted miniature. They can be kind of intense that way, but if you're layering up from a darker color, they're very, very good for that. At least in my experience in using these gel-based paints. Speaking of gel-based paints, I'm so loving some of these gel bases that I'm using for the new Space Wolves. You were joking around about how the war colors can be a little harder to get to get a hold of. That was no joke for sure, but they it's such a nice crisp color for edge highlight though.
I went up to weekend and bought hey, if you buy everything in the entire set, we'll give you something for free. I don't even know what it was. I'm like, come on, let's do this. So I bought the entire set, and I haven't used much of it, I have to be honest with you, but I have a lot of potential. And then the Scale 75 stuff and the fantasy and game stuff, so I have a lot of gel-based mediums. Is there a favorite paint you like? A paint range?
That is a perfect time for me to segue into. Guys, Both Brother Hobbies is brought to you by our sponsor, Paint Minis Live, and they have an online store. You can see there that Nightbot has plugged into the chat. Um, and they offer one of the paint brands that they sell is my favorite paint range of all time, which is Pro-Acryl paints by Monument Hobbies, and you can get them for a good price at Paint Minis Live and for no extra cost. He loves to reward the content creators that support his channel and his web store. So um, you get to support the channel for no additional cost. You get to support uh, Paint Minis Live, who's a great YouTuber and great community content creator. Jeez, I don't know why that combination was so tricksy on the mouth. And yeah, it's like I said, it's a great range of paints. Plus, he's got other stuff at his web store, such as D&D stuff and other books and stuff like that. And it's just a really great place to get your hobby goodness. Hey, hey, there is the fourth member of our challenge there, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor. Now, this is our friendly rivalry here, because this is not only the fourth person taking part in our little friendly challenge that we're doing with each other, trying to motivate each other to finish painting our Space Wolf box, but he is playing the part of the adversary. And instead of the Space Wolf Army box, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor there, his link is also down in the Friends of Wolf Brother Hobbies. He is doing the Battle Force box for the Thousand Suns, also brand new, with the new cool Thousand Suns Autonoma that is very divisive looks-wise in the community. Uh,
Magus did everything wrong. Darn Cyclops. If you have one eye, I'm not being offensive towards you.
so
Now, if you have one eye and psychic abilities almost to the level of the Emperor, yes, I'm talking to you. Don't turn me into goo, please. Yeah.
And Hellwork says, "What's howling?" Ooh. Oh, and like I said, I was just showing off your shirt earlier and your brand new logo, Hellworks, my brother, as the third member of our challenge. So yeah, all four of us here tonight, motivating each other, working on our wolves. I say without actually having any of my hobby materials in front of me.
And I say, join us. If you are out there and you've got a challenge for a project, if you're kind of intimidated because it's too large, keep the weekly progress, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll build together.
For sure, for sure. Especially if you got somewhere you want to share it, feel free to share it on Facebook with us. You could messenger us. He's got a great group page called the Miniatures Paintbrush Legion. We've got our Discord over at Wolf Brother Hobbies. I think Nightbot posts it up every few minutes, so feel free to check it out. Yeah, join us on any big projects. Like I said, we're doing the Space Wolves Army box, but our brother, the adversary, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor, is doing the Thousand Suns. Hey, sweet puppo. We got a commander here. What is it, baby? So, yeah. So I have, so far for the for the Grey Hunters, I've done the Plasma Pistol Power Fist combo. And, oh, you trying to get behind the desk? Did you hear some thunder or something? Usually she comes crawling under my desk or behind the desk where there's not really any room when she hears thunder. She's like, wants snuggling close then. She's a she can be a bit skittish with thunder. Our big old German Shepherd. Right now, I'm painting the stripes on the Rubiks, which are tedious AF. Oh yes, that is the one detail that makes many people regret doing Thousand Suns.
Shameless is still on there. Remember that I did a Blood Bowl team with him. I am very similar I'm very familiar with painting the blue and yellow on the Egyptian style helmets.
Very nice, very nice. Um, our friendly neighborhood Inquisitor is kind of doing like not quite the 30K scheme, but very similarly a red and gold Thousand Sun scheme.
Oh, so she's using the original, the red.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, we are having some problem with that tonight. Friendly neighborhood.
What's that?
Oh, just the some people are having a little trouble hearing you still. I've got you boosted. I've got you boosted to 200% now. Let's see if that helps at all. But I don't actually see. Wait a minute. Let me drop you from 200%. And instead of having you on the mixer, see if I can straight up add you as a separate audio source.
Oh.
Say something now?
Something now.
Did that help at all, fam?
I don't always build armies, but when I do, it's usually too many at the same time.
Way better. Okay, okay.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Yay.
Good, good, good.
Oh, goodness.
Haha.
So that was it. There it is. Awesome.
Oh my gosh, I figured out something technical.
Look at you. So let's we got our hobby progress down. What are we gonna segue into this time? Let's see.
Real quick before we leave hobby progress,
Oh, okay.
I am going to
Okay.
touch on video games this week, which all I really played this week was Dark Tide. I guess I don't really need to touch on that. I played some Dark Tide, Overwatch. Okay, no, I don't have any progress. Never mind. I was like, there was something I wanted to talk about video game wise, but it just left
Video
me.
games. FX Pinball 3.
I played some pinball.
Yeah, I'm old school. I like pinball. I might
That's
buy a
cool.
pinball machine, throw it in my hobby play space.
That's pretty cool. I don't play pinball very often, but when there's one, um, Garrett, my brother, good to see you, man.
Hey, Gary. Welcome.
I don't play pinball very often, but when there's one in like if I go to an arcade or something like that, you know,
Yeah.
and there's one around, I'll definitely play on it for a while.
When it goes to the credits, like you now you have cards and you go credits instead of putting coins in. Usually pinball is the lowest amount of credits for the most amount of time you can play in the
No,
game.
yeah. Well, well, maybe. I mean, sometimes you just get unlucky and you're like, pling, pling, pling. Oh, there goes my three balls. Damn.
That's right. That's right. Oh yeah, no. If you lose your balls, then that's a bad thing. You don't want to lose. You don't want to lose your balls with steel. That would be bad. Anywho,
I
let's get on.
I like strong-willed women. It's not the first time I've lost my. Never mind. Never mind.
Oh wow.
Anyways, um,
So what
no.
what have you been
Oh, it
reading?
wasn't video games I meant to talk about. It was RPGs. Had it. Uh oh.
Oh,
The camera's out of focus again. Had uh, a great D&D session last weekend, and
nice.
I think it was Father's Day. We ended up missing a session, so we're doing another makeup session tomorrow morning. So anyone who usually joins us for the after show hangout, I won't be doing an after show hangout tonight. Y'all can still feel free to hang out, but I got to get up early for D&D and then a day at the shop. Balls of Steel. Speaking of Balls of Steel, stupid random thing I learned. Duke Nukem and the big cat from Sonic have the same voice actor. Really
Nice.
interesting. Um, but yeah, last week we ended up in D&D. We ended up on this adventure where people would pay with cursed coins, and the
Hmm.
person receiving the coins would erupt into ash and burn and disappear. And
Yeah.
we were actually, this is really a really cool evolution because the group there we this was a quest offered on the notice board like in the second episode of this game, and we ended up picking a different quest, and it mysteriously showed back up on the notice board. And so we took it this time, and apparently it's back on the notice board because different adventurers took the job the first go around,
Hmm.
and they ended
Fail.
up they ended up failing. And so we're led to a warehouse where the adventurers that were on this quest are just bodies, and they're like badly scorched, like charred bones bodies, where we're kind of doing an investigation. And they said it's weird because usually the coins disappear after the curse, and there's just ashes, they're not usually charred remains.
Hmm.
And so as we're investigating, somebody touches one of the bodies, and the charred skeletons rise, burst on fire again, and attack us. And they're immune to fire and divine damage. Not immune, but like very. They're immune to not yet divine damage, and resistant to fire damage. And apparently, the reason that the bodies previously disappeared is because these things have the ability to teleport. And so now
Yeah.
we ended up, having fought a bulk of them, but now a couple of them are blinking through the city, running amok, and we have to try and, resolve this as quickly as possible.
Yikes.
It's a really neat quest line. And it's, to me, it's like so neat, the continuity where we didn't take it on one of the first quests, but then the quest line evolved. Like this could have been handled with at a much weaker stage, and before it started getting out of hand. But because we're
Right.
doing this later, the cursed coins have had time to spread, and now they're kind of running amok in the city. And it's just like
That's so cool.
it's neat continuity. It really is. Um,
Now, do you play or do you DM?
I play. I'm currently playing a combination rogue monk, and
Oh,
yeah,
so you're a stat person.
yeah. So I
A
have
little
a
bit.
magical flaming knife called a blaze knife, and a blaze dagger, and so I slash with it. But because daggers are also monk weapons, I can
Mhm.
make up to one or two unarmed strikes depending on if I spend key for it. Unarmed strikes as a bonus action, so I get to just keep stacking on damage. But because I'm also a rogue, that first attack with the daggers often also backstab damage, and so I'm getting to critically hit, and then follow up with some martial arts damage, which is pretty cool.
Is a beautiful thing.
Yep. And then, as a monk, you don't necessarily have to be like the kind of monk who studies at a temple or monastery, but I am, or at least I used to be. And so my patron is the moon goddess Seluna, and so you can pick was it a radiant sun or divine? You can pick one that's like a soul temple. I'm in a sun temple, but I've flavored it to
Kamo.
be the moon, so I can pay homage to the moon goddess Luna. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, I can start doing holy fire damage with all of my martial arts attack too. So it's pretty cool.
That's insane.
So
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm having a lot of fun with the class and the story for
I am,
sure.
I am actually. I didn't know we could talk about D&D. I'm a DM, so I am running a campaign right now. And my biggest issue for campaigns are that the meeting times. Everybody has lives and do things. Damage. Why do you have a life? So I took advice off of this podcast to like put my foot down and make sure that if you're not dedicated to this time and this date, that we're just not going to run the campaign. And then people started leaving, and I'm like,
No, no.
oopsie. But no, I've been running Dragon Queen, Tiamat, which is running amok throughout the Sword Coast, and there's this one part of the adventure that leaves like a couple of months of travel out of the way. Like for some reason, they didn't detail what happened, but I am having them run into towns. One town actually had goblins uprising, and the town folk, some of them were on the goblin side, just live and let live. The other people were actively hunting them down. So understandably, the leader of the goblins had to do what's best for his people. So like even my character's like, I can't fault him. Like you killed one of his kids, like in a raiding party because you thought you were doing the right thing. Of course he's gonna come at you. Anyway, yeah, there was this one weaponsmith character that I made, and he was actually aiding them in secret, the goblins. And so what happened is the adventurers turned invisible, and one of them turned invisible and went on the cart, and they took the cart full of weapons that the blacksmith made for them, and they went into there, and eventually the Goblin King and everything else talked to them and everything else, and they worked it out in the end and formed allies against Tiamat because of it. But it was quite the adventures because they were like little adventures within that adventure as well. And now they're in a town solving a murder mystery, which is leading them to a dwarven mountain structure that has been abandoned. So we are there. We
That's
are,
cool.
yeah. But yeah, they're going up against an avatar of Tiamat. And the thing is that when I got married, one of my friends bought me the original big, huge Tiamat model
Oh,
from Wizards of
nice.
the Coast. So I actually have Tiamat. I don't know. You might be able to see them on top of my
Oh, yeah.
cabinets over there, but yeah, he's ginormous. Well, she's ginormous. Um, but yeah, we're having fun with that as well. And hopefully my hopefully my dudes hopefully they say they meet me halfway, because it's like we only meet 12 times a year, but we're actually 10 times a year because in the summer everybody's busy. So it's like I got 10 sessions and so much story to go.
That's
But
understandable. Which makes sense
and
why makeup sessions are so important because we play every other week, but even then that's only 24 sessions in the year.
yeah. Yeah, and by the way, for people listening, makeup sessions have nothing to do with putting on makeup.
I love Tiamat. I always prefer her. Well, not prefer, but I always think of her Dragonlance name Takesis because
Yes, Tarkesis.
I think Dragonlance was my real entry into like D&D lore and
Raceland
storylines.
and Caramon. Let's go.
But hey, they could. Welcome to the chat to our amazing DM, Dazrock Kushranada.
Oh, hey, hey.
But
Welcome.
but hey, they could. I'm not sure to which comment that was directed, but hey, they could.
Anything is possible.
Uh,
Using the power of friendship and imagination.
Hellwork says he's got a hat on the embroidery machine for his new logo, which is awesome.
Oh,
He
wow.
also says I found a digital machine with 20 different pinball games on it at the arcade. Dropped $1 and played for over an hour. Nice. Sounds like amongst his many other skills, he's also got pinball skills.
Nice. I
Oh,
like pinball
oh,
because my
makeup
6-year-old daughter
sessions.
can play.
Makeup sessions could involve the application of makeup.
Hey, you do you. You do you, boo. I don't need makeup. I'm naturally beautiful.
Man, this is with makeup. I need a lot of help.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh,
something I think on maybe not necessarily a hobby session, but hobby adjacent, I want to start talking about on here. Normally, I try and keep my health updates separate from, stuff I talk about on the show, except for like I'll casually mention something here and there.
what's
But
up?
I think I'm gonna start sharing some of my small achievements on here, even though like weightlifting is not necessarily hobby stuff, but I'm gonna start doing it.
Woo-hoo!
This week
Let's go.
I moved up in weight a little bit. Like, okay, I'm not bragging by any means because I'm not the strongest person in the world, and I definitely I've only been weightlifting since February, so I don't have a ton of progress, but I'm proud of the little bit of progress I made. So please don't anyone take this about that piddly amount. What's he bragging about that for? Like, this is just celebrating my personal milestone. It's not. This isn't like I'm not being egotistical about this, but on my dumbbell benches this week, I did move up to 50 pounds in each hand for dumbbell benches, which was
Nice.
pretty cool. 3 full sets of that. And this isn't like I maxed out at 50. This is me doing a full, 3 full reps of 10. When I say I moved up weights, like it's actually
Awesome.
my normal workout at that weight.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
so I'm really pleased with that. Weightlifting means increasing the amount of kits, especially paint sets you can bring home. 100% hobby related. That's true. That's true. It's like now I can lift the Army Painter complete set. Oh man, that's good stuff, brother. Um,
That's amazing, man.
Thank
Wow,
you, brother.
50.
Um,
That's I gotta work out again.
and then on the regular bench, I moved up to 115. So I added 5 pounds per hand on my dumbbell bench, and I added 10 pounds on my regular bench. So, yeah,
That's
I'm
amazing.
pleased with that progress.
Should be. That's amazing.
When I started working out in February, I was doing 35s in each hand. So I feel
Mhm.
like I've made some pretty decent progress.
Yeah, you think? That's amazing. Oh man. Yeah, now you're motivating me to go back to working out. I used to weight lift, weight train. I gotta get back into that. Oh man. All right. So reading media. Let's talk about media.
Yes. What you been
By
reading
the
lately?
by, I finished my second Blood Claw.
Very nice. Very nice.
Um, Again with the second omnibus, you can see exactly where I am in there. I'm on the last book. So close. Page 555, actually, to be specific about where I am on the second Space Wolf omnibus, which I don't think they sell anymore. Which, yeah, that's awesome. I haven't seen one in a while. I am also reading Wind and Truth. I have not made it too far in Wind and Truth. I'm only on page 335, which may seem like a lot, but when you take in consideration this is 1,300 plus page book, it's cut it a day, and it's a large one. If I bought it in paperback, it would be much more. But I am addicted to Sanderson's novels. Yeah, Stormlight Archive. This is book number 5 and I read audiobook to all the other ones, but this one was gifted to me. So I'm reading it while listening to the audiobook, which I think is best of both worlds. What are you reading?
First, I'm going to call out that also currently reading some lore. Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitors still got to finish the latest Carcaraton's book, Void Exile, which is really cool.
Oh, nice.
I remember when we were, reviewing some of the weekly news, and Games Workshop was advertising that book, so that's cool.
Hmm.
Um, I myself am also reading Ragnar. I'm still on the first trilogy, but I'm on the third book. Um, okay, I can't remember the name of the book, but it's book 3 of the omnibus, the Space Wolves omnibus, and it's Ragnar's story, of course. And
It's called Spear to the Eye. And I'm not gonna devolve what that reference is in case somebody has not read it.
it is so good, so good. It is a reread, of course. I've read the first 4 books of Ragnar's story before, but it was when I first got into the hobby many, many years ago. And I figured with my rebirth of my, redoing my Space Wolves army in Primaris and starting with Ragnar as one of the first characters I would be doing for this army, uh, I definitely wanted to use these books to re-hype myself for this project. Um, so yeah, there we are.
Are these Primaris? Or are they just larger size of the originals?
They are Primaris.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, okay. That's good.
really like Sanderson. His knowledge about sword fighting is top notch. Very
It
good.
really is. Yeah.
Similarly, so I am currently reading Ragnar, but the last one of the last or major series I finished this year was the a series by Jim Butcher, my favorite author, and uh, it was it was very cool because he was doing basically a workshop about writing, and he said basically, people asked him about how does he come up with these award-winning story ideas, and he
Mhm.
says basically that the idea of the story isn't what makes a best-selling series or a good piece of work. It's the skill at which you put into writing it. And he goes into stuff like character development and stuff like that, and somebody called him, called BS on him, and there's like, well, it's easy, you know, uh, for you to write this award-winning thing because basically you took this idea of, a modern day sorcerer, a sorcerer in modern day Chicago, and people love it. And he's like, no, 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 I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Give me any 2 topics, and I will put them together in a cohesive story, and I'm going to make it be on the New York bestseller list.
It's,
And they gave him The Lost Legion
oh,
of
man.
Rome and Pokemon, and he made it work.
How?
And to relate this to what Shameless Soul was saying, he actually did a phenomenal job of writing out, the combat and the sword fighting and stuff like that too, which helps because like uh, in his first series, the Dresden Files, he actually learned martial arts so that way he could write about fight scenes.
Wow.
And so it makes sense that he would put the same kind of
Attention to detail.
attention to detail in his other series as well.
Yeah.
The name of that series is uh, I've got the individual book names. Let me see if I can find the name of the series. Y'all are gonna look with me.
In the meantime, it is important to read. If you're not reading, me being an educator, grab a book and lose yourself into a fantasy or something more, current events or something like that. But it is important to exercise your mind and read every single day if you can. If not, at least 3 times a week, like the amount you should work out. You got to work out your brain too. You know.
Absolutely. Uh, the Codex Alera is the name of the book series by Jim Butcher, and it's so good, so good.
How did he do the Pokemon? I'm so curious.
So basically, he has done them as elemental spirits instead of elemental creatures in that
Oh,
world, and but still the same way that you have to bond with Pokemon and build up that bond of trust with them and work as a partnership. That's basically what you have to do with these elemental spirits too. Pokemon meets Roman Legion, exactly.
wow.
Uh,
That's so impressive.
the story reminds Shameless Soul reminds me when Stephen King kept getting called a hack horror writer, so he wrote 3 bestsellers in under a pseudonym. Nice.
He did. In fact, I read his fairy tale and I loved it. I loved it. And apparently he wrote another one there that's adjacent to The Stand. Something about dragons, but it's supposed to be done in fairy tale lines. So he's actually writing fairy tales, a little grim in his style as well. But yeah, he did write in synonym as well. And his son is writing too.
That's awesome. Uh,
Yeah.
Hellchild has all but one of Stephen King's books, and he has all the Dresden books too. Very nice.
Oh,
Love,
yeah.
love your taste there. He also says he's read 14 out of the 15 Wheel of Time books in hardcover. Nice. I love the Wheel of Time books. In fact, on a Wolf Brother Wednesday many, many years ago, uh, I did a Q&A and somebody asked me about what my favorite fantasy sword or favorite fantasy weapon is. And I went with, I think it was sword specifically. And I went with Kalendor, the sword that is not a sword, the crystal sword, the crystal blade. You know, all these different titles he gets in the book series. It's really cool. What else we got? I have all. Oh yeah, I already read the Dresden books on this. So that is our books. You've been watching anything good, brother? Not, we'll get to the YouTube channels in a minute, but like, have you watched any movies, TV, that kind of thing?
My wife has turned me on to Bob's Burgers.
Okay.
So I watch Bob's Burgers. We're also huge, both of us are huge Lord of the Ring fans. So we're actually watching Don't Hate Us, The Rings of Power. And and we're actually kind of enjoying it. I know it's non-canonical, but still it's fun. It's something done in the Lord of the Rings. I'm not gonna poo-poo it, you know? So anything I like in my genre, I'm going to try to lift it up as much as possible. So I'm actually
Oh,
enjoying that as well. Those are
same.
the two things.
I do
And,
unpopular opinions here all the time. I tell people, hey, I like all of the Star Wars stuff.
and the last thing would be Dragon Slayer. I have not watched the last season, so I'm kind of catch up on that. I'm a fan of anime, and it's definitely one that I like.
That's awesome. I'm not familiar with that one, but I have to check it out.
Mm, yeah, really good.
On the lighthearted note, like where you're watching Bob's Burgers, I enjoyed the hell out of Rings of Power. And my brother Daz is a huge, huge fan of Rings. Of Lord of the Rings. So if he likes Rings of Power, I definitely can probably take that as gospel that it's good. Um,
Yeah.
I read a book or more a week. Damn, that's a fast mind you got there, brother. And then, so on the lighthearted note, I found myself kind of in a funk yesterday. I was getting frustrated with things a little more easily. I was, feeling kind of bummed out. Part of it, I think, part of it is just like I have had some headaches with work lately, and I think just work has kind of had me in a funk. And
Yeah.
anyways, so I didn't realize that I was being kind of short or irritable until yesterday evening, and I was like, you know what, I need to put on something for some lighthearted, good vibes, and so I was started watching. I picked up on the 5th season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and oh my god, it's funny as hell. That definitely put me in a better mood.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Nice.
It is such a funny as hell series.
Oh, speaking of funny, Avid Elementary. That's what I watch as well.
Avid
That's a
Elementary.
good.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's all teachers and different kinds of teachers. It's great. If you're a teacher, you can definitely relate to that. It's so much funny. So much fun. It's like The Office done in an elementary school.
That's
So,
cool.
oh my gosh.
So, Shameless said, oh well, Friendly Neighbor Inquisitor says, I haven't watched Rings of Power. I'm just freaking happy that the GOAT is in it finally. Tom Bombadil.
Yes. I still haven't seen the second season. I just finished the first one. So Bombadil's in there. I love that. I love that. I hated that he wasn't in the movies. Like I get it. I get it. It would ruin the story, but
Sh-
there's only so much you could put in there. But still, Bombadil is the man, the myth, and the legend.
And then Shameless says, I used to read a lot, kind of fell out of the habit, but went back and reread Blood Meridian again because my kids bought it for me for Father's Day.
That's
That's a
awesome. How are
great
the
Father's Day
kiddos
gift.
doing? How are the kiddos doing, Shameless?
All right. Um.
Ah,
So
ah, ah.
I think that's all my other watch stuff for TV and movies go. But what we have here is we when we hang out, we'd like to lift up other YouTubers, and so we've got a few YouTube picks for you this week, and I will put it on the screen, brother, if you want to talk about your first pick.
All right. My pick is well, as you can see with the hobby progress, I am like a machine when I start painting and when I start building for large projects. And it's really hard for me to even sleep sometimes. I just have to go through it. So on the long nights where nobody's around and I can't really talk to anybody because everybody's asleep like a normal person, I listen to lore videos, and this lore video series is absolutely excellent. It's told from the perspective of people that are in a libratorium, I don't know how to say libertarium, for the Adeptus Libertarium. Well, what is that? That when they have Ordo Libertarium, right? So these are in distant planets, and they're just scribes writing books, and these guys are just doing like research on, let's say, the orc, and and they say things like, well, I got some information because this is a way station, and I hear stories from the fringe and stuff like that, and compiling all this information, I have this masterwork piece, this one book that is the total history of the orcs. And he goes through and he reads you like the book that he wrote, and you hear it. But the only thing that's on there is that if you don't like a light rain in the background, he likes to put it in light rain, and a lot of people use it to sleep. In fact, if you look at the background of it, it says sleep. I think that's just mocking me when I'm late at night listening to the channel, just saying, don't forget to sleep, because sometimes like hobby and it's the next day. But yeah, and it is called the Lore Keepers Libertarium.
Librarian.
Librarian, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm just helping.
Librarian. The Lore Keepers Librarian, and it is absolutely awesome. I have been listening. There's a couple more, but I'll bring them up in other weeks. But that one has been really, really the core of what I've been listening to, and has been getting me through this project right here.
That is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So that's just one I wanted to shout out for this week. My pick of the week. What do you have? Well, I used your terminology. What you got for a pork chop?
Kalimvir, good evening, my friend. I hope you're doing well.
Hey.
My YouTube channel I wanted to shout out this week is Woody Minis. As you guys know, I have been on a huge Custodes kick this year. It's definitely been the primary army I have played this year, by and far, because I've played them for the Narrative Grand Event here in the Houston area at the War Dome convention, and I also have been playing them in the local Narrative League at my local game shop. And being that this is basically, it'll probably be my last weekend of playing them this year, I thought it would be great to end on a Custodes note. And this is no ordinary Custodes army. I think definitely someone like anyone who is a kit bash enthusiast, like Hellworks or Mr. Fish, kit bash enthusiasts, I think, will like this as well, because if you'll take a look, this guy's custodies have a very a theme that really stands out. He calls them his wood stodies, which his name is Woody, which I think it's a great play on words. But he takes a lot of fantasy and AOS miniatures and basically makes them into like this kind of like forest guardian vibe. And so, he uses a lot of the gosh, what are they called? The wood elves in AOS. The bright
Sylvaneth.
Sylvaneth kits, and he kit bashes them with his custodies, and he paints the custodies armor as like, green, sandstone kind of color, and then he'll put like moss on them and vines and stuff. It's really cool looking. He's attempted some like green jade effects for like a couple of his main characters, but a lot of it is just like sandstone, mossy, very cool. And he'll actually, for like the decorations, like the aquillas and stuff like that, will kind of paint them in kind of a wood kind of theme. It all goes together very nicely for this forest guardian theme he's got going on, which I think is so cool.
That's awesome.
So definitely, I recommend checking them out, especially if you like alternative builds, kit bashing, and just people who striate from the norm. Because a lot of people, I recommend Custodies to a lot of people. This year of playing Custodies have definitely taught me that if you like elite armies, you like hardy armies that can take a beating and give it back, and if you like melee combat, Custodies are a very fun army. Um, and I'm not a great player. I haven't won every game, but I have definitely every game felt like I've had the opportunity to do something cool, win or lose. I never felt the game feeling like, man, that was a shutout and I didn't even get to do anything. So I definitely feel like this is definitely uh, an army that I think just about anyone can have fun with. So definitely check out Woody's miniatures. And then deviating from the hobby side a little bit, something that I just have been absolutely binging lately, is a non-hobby, well, not Warhammer hobby or D&D hobby, not a tabletop hobby. This is definitely somebody's hobby. Ants Canada. He started out as just an ant farm channel many, many years ago. But now he has moved from Canada into South Asia, and now he does giant room-sized vivariums where he houses entire ecosystems.
Wow.
And I just became obsessed with it. I started from his very first vivarium, uh, and you can see here all these videos watched. Started from his very first vivarium, and I'm like now caught up waiting for Sunday's videos. It is so good. I don't understand why, but I think it's like I think it scratches that the Dracula ants were cool. Absolutely. I think it scratches this part of my brain that reminds me of watching National Geographic as a kid. Like all
Hmm.
the wildlife on National Geographic. But he like has a great narrator voice too. Like it's not like he's Ben Stein talking about this, natural science. He actually adds in drama. He does cutaways. He does, and it's very, very like the filmography is so good. Like he is definitely a pro YouTuber, but he adds senses of drama too. Like, you know, and that's where I made this discovery. And then the screen will go black. But before we do that, let's check in on these ants over here. You're just like, wait, no, what happened with the thing you found? This is such a cool. I think if you are a kind of person who, you know, gets interested by just wilderness stuff, like his name is Ants Canada, but there's way more in these vivariums than just insects and ants. He switches out apex predators every season, and so he started out with skinks, and then a baby crocodile, and at
Oh,
some
wow.
point there's a a big snake that's going to be going in. He's got a serpent, he says, that's going in this Sunday. So we'll see. But it's very cool. I'm not sure how it started popping up into my feed, but once it did pop up into my feed, it was immediately subscribe and binge. I don't know. He's very captivating. So
There's a nature show that I like to watch. It's called Z Frank, and he is hilarious. I mean, absolutely. And he does his information, but it's it's an experience. I'll have to send you the link at some point. Z Frank. It is a beautiful thing to behold. You will laugh your tuchus off. But yeah, I love nature shows. That's amazing.
I mean, Z rank.
It's
Okay,
like 10
save.
facts about.
Huh,
Yeah.
there we go. Tell
Oh
us,
my gosh.
I'll pop him in the chat too. Tell us a little about him.
So he explains like how mosquitoes how they survive their life cycle and everything else, but he does so in a manner that he's like talking to somebody off screen, and it's just funny. It's so hard to describe him,
Oop.
but he does go into details about proboscis and everything else, and it's very, very nature show. But it is also the most hilarious thing I think I've ever heard in my like. I sit there laughing just at everything that this dude says. He's amazing. It's so hard to describe. He's funny but educational at the same time. More like hilarious and educational at the same time.
Awesome. I'll have to check him out.
Yeah.
The Echidna militarized whoopee cushion. That's not what Sonic the Hedgehog taught me. Where are his boxing knuckles?
Oh man.
All right. Now, we're going to switch over from these YouTube pics. Definitely check them out. I've popped them in the chat. They're also down in the link below for anyone who wants to check them out.
Thank you.
We're also going to move on to some of the big reveals today because, as we say in our title, we are talking some of the new Space Marines. First of all, some of you may be interested to know that the Death Watch are back with a Kill Team release, and they'll be facing the Necrons. And hey, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor here has a Necrons army. I love that the thumbnail for this release has a Space Wolf / Wolf Spear Brother on the front.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his big old thunder hammer because a wolf with a hammer is very, very thematic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yo, reveals time. I've made my feelings clear in the Discord.
Yeah.
So we've got the. Go ahead.
Positive thing for me for the reveal that I think is pretty epic are finally Chaos Dwarves. Finally. For AOS. Although, how are the Snickrot goblins? How are they related to the Chaos Dwarves? Because they said they're cousins. What the heck? How are cousins related? How are goblins related to Chaos Dwarves or dwarves in general? That's the only thing. Some of the bulls, like the large bull mecha thing that they have, I forgot the name of it, looks kind of squatty. Well, it's a dwarf, so I get it. Not my aesthetic, but I am very glad it exists in the AOS space. Just want to talk about AOS. I don't know if you wanted to talk about AOS as well. But I'm really happy for the Flesh Eater courts. They got a new person, the Bat person, which he's a Falconeer. He thinks he's a Falconeer, but in his mind and headcanon, but he has a lot of bats about. and that's pretty cool. Because my wife took my Flesh Eater Course Army, and she's playing it, so she's gonna make me paint that up. Oh yeah, pitting me on the desk to paint something up. Don't threaten me with a good time, right?
I don't know. Sounds questionable.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Uh, Kalimir says, and yet most Wolves units lost Thunderhammers. I know, it hurts. It hurts. And the Blade Master, ooh, special unit for the Death Watch with that Necron blade I've always thought was cool looking. About the dwarves thing, so the way they tie to like the goblins and stuff is because they're all the Chaos, or the Grand Alliance, and the way they work that lore wise is that the Chaos Dwarves are basically the go-to Forge Masters. So anyone in the Chaos Grand Alliance, they come from around the world to trade with the Chaos Dwarves Forge Masters. And because basically they have the monopoly on, Chaos Forged goods, they can often convince a lot of the other members of the Grand Alliance to basically do things for them, do their bidding. It's like, you can have this, but I need you to do this.
Now, that's not what they said on the reveal show. They said that they were cousins. That means at some point in time, a Chaos Dwarf might have gotten a little bit too happy with the ale and grabbed a hobgoblin and said, "Let's go, baby."
Hmm. I didn't hear that part, but I heard them talking about them running the monopoly on Chaos Forge goods and everyone.
Yeah.
But maybe that was just at a different part. I was listening on the road.
Yeah, I was like, they're cousins. I'm like,
Around the world, around the world, around the world, around. Somebody's got to shake it now. Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor says, so happy they kept the Xenophase blade. I know, I want to use that bit on a Space Marine at some point. And just like give it to them and give them a Death Watch pauldron to say that they've served in the Death Watch.
nice.
This new Geomancer from the Necrons, Friendly Neighbor Inquisitor says that Geomancer model is 10 out of 10. Man, Necrons aren't even my thing, but this looks super cool.
Yeah, it is.
Also, I need to stop consuming media. I forgot. I watched a couple episodes of I forget which show. One of the Warhammer Plus shows, but it's where the salamander has come down to a planet from the Indomitus trailer. It kind of picks up after the Indomitus trailer, where like the Ultramarines and the Sisters of Battle got wrecked by the Necrons,
Mhm.
and this salamander is kind of leading some of the survivors, along with a Sister of Battle and an Imperial Guard woman. And the death marks for the Necrons in that show look super pimp. And I'm like, see, this is why I need to stop consuming media, because this makes me, every time I watch cool stuff, makes me want new armies. The Accelerator and Reanimator look cool.
The sad thing is that I have a Necrons.
Add the Necrons to the list of TMP Rob's armies.
Yeah.
Tomb Crawlers. Oh, hey. I think Tomb Crawlers is the name of, I think that's the name of my adventuring group in D&D, Tomb Crawlers.
Really?
I have to get one of those. It's just like a little mascot.
Mine is the Crooked Staff.
Oh, nice. Warriors?
Come out and play.
Wait, why are these warriors? Like, because there are already Necron warriors. Why are these also called warriors?
Are they replacing things like GW likes to do?
No, I don't think so, because like they don't have any of the same like loadout or like silhouette or anything. This is like just a completely different unit type. I think it's just like a weird naming convention. This is the terrain you're getting with this particular particular kill team. The terrain for this kill team might be Canoptic Warriors instead of Necron Warriors. Okay, that would make sense because it's got the Canoptic look.
That's right.
This Kill Team terrain has a very boarding actions vibe to it. I like it. I think the green
Yes,
pop looks good. Um, but
it
yeah, it
is.
really
I
does.
like it.
I like boarding actions in general. So yeah, I like the terrain.
I like the terrain to cut it up and make basing material out.
Nice.
That one anyway, because I already have the board action board and I could fit an entire table of bordering
Uh,
action stuffs and it's
uh,
all
oh, true. I still need to paint up all my boarding actions terrain. It's just sitting in a box over here.
do you have the really, really large one? Like that big box
It is a
of
big
boarding
box,
action?
but mine is 3D printed out for me by a former member of the show, Oni, which is awesome. Preach. We got now. There are some mixed feelings around this. There's a lot of cool new stuff coming out for the vanilla chapters of Space Marines. One of which is a well, there's some Primaris heroes that people have been asking for a while in general. But some people are a little disappointed because when they said Space Marine 2.0, they thought there might be either a 2.0 Space Marine Codex like there was in 8th edition, or at least a Codex supplement for some of the founding chapters, like there has been also in 8th edition, where like there was Codex supplements, Salamanders, and Imperial Fists. And as a big Imperial Fist player, a friend of the show, Freak, has been really wanting a Imperial Fist Codex for a while, and
Yeah.
nothing like that was announced. So some people have been a little dismayed about that. But some of the stuff they have announced look really cool. Look at this Primaris Vulcan Histon, which I painted up a 3D printed one for Brother Kane, but man, I may have to get a legit one for him now that he actually does have a Primaris model for the future. It's very super cool. Um, so the new Vulcan Histon looks amazing. Although I'm a son of Vulcan at heart, the Raven Guard Chapter Master is the best model of the lot. Yeah, a lot of people have said that this is the best looking model since Logan Grimnar.
I have something to say about that guy.
Next is Lysander, Captain Lysander. I think that's Freak's favorite character for the Imperial Fist. He is thrilled. He said he looks so angry. I
Hmm.
myself am not a huge fan, and again, I'm not an Imperial Fist fan. So, what's the saying? Not my monkeys, not my circus.
Hmm.
But I myself, if I ever painted this guy, would have to do a head swap because the tubes in the face are a little weird to me.
Why, you don't like tubes in the face? Come on.
No, no, it's definitely a little bit of body horror there for me. Like,
So the Raven Guard, they
the
did Yvonne Strike dirty. They did him dirty. They're like, nope, you're no longer chapter master. Oh well. It's like just because you look like a Panic at the Disco member, just because you are part of the Black Parade, just because you have leaded the emo nation, does not mean you cannot
oh,
be the chapter master.
I didn't even catch that during the thing because, like I said, I was on the road at the time. I didn't catch that. It says that Kayvon Strike willingly stepped aside to let this guy be chapter master.
They did him dirty. They
I
did him
mean,
dirty. Oh, poor guy. He stepped aside. No, you didn't. They're plastic figures. Come on.
why do I imagine GW management? Nope, he's not. Garrett says Shrike isn't chapter master anymore. It says Aethon
No?
Shan is the current chapter master of the Raven Guard, and we know what you're thinking. Wait, shouldn't that be Kayvon Shrike? Isn't Shan
Right.
his first captain? Well,
Yeah.
Shrike has believed for a long while that the Raven Guard required a more balanced exemplar of their shadowy Primarch's teaching, and it speaks to Shrike's own strength of character that he should willingly step aside once he identified such a warrior. That warrior is Captain Shan.
Who gives up chapter master? Like who without dying? Who gives up chapter master? Nobody does.
Brother Garrett says it makes sense lore wise. In Shrike's mind, he was never worthy of being a chapter master.
Really?
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense because his whole rule being the whole lone op thing, he's not really carry the men around me kind of guy. It's a bit-
Well, then
his
that
rule.
just sorry.
I was just saying, like maybe I could kind of see it, like you know, if he's like more of a uh a lone wolf kind of guy.
That just cements his emo kind of simplicity that he's not good enough and he has self-doubt. Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Oh, okay. He said he only became chapter master uh, because their chapter master died and those around him told him to take up the mantle. Still surprising
Yeah,
though. It is a cool looking
I'm
miniature though.
shocked.
It looks
Oh,
incredible.
I love him. I love the new chapter master for the Raven Guard. In fact, so much so, I am so tempted to collect another army on sprue.
I have to say I was like the guys at the shop have been and we talked about this off camera. The guys at the shop have been trying to talk me into um doing some 30K with them for the new heresy, and while I've decided not to because I really want to focus on the wolves, I did briefly consider Dark Angels and Raven Guard, and this looks so good. I have always been a fan of Kayvon Strike's the face on that model, even though a lot of people say it's too emo for them. So this
I
is
love
in
it.
no means a bash. I like that model. But however, it's like they decided, like everybody called the last chapter master we had, the emo guy. Let's double down on that face for the next guy. I love it.
They want to make me into the chapter master of the Raven Guard. Do my own.
I also love that. I don't know why. I would expect this on a white scar because it looks like a Japanese, bludgeoning weapon, from samurai times. But I love that that's the
Yeah.
weapon on this Iron Warrior here. Uh,
Speaking of white scars, did you see?
oh yes, oh yes, Tetsubo. That's the word. I was trying to remember the word. Thank you so much, Kalen Beer. I don't understand what's with the Tetsubo. I really feel like that should be on a white scar, and I kind of
Yeah.
want to get this mini to kit bash in the future to give a white scar Tetsubo. But yeah, that definitely is something I feel like I need to do at some point. But this is a really cool looking miniature, and it definitely uh, is got all the gubbins on them to make them very iron handsy. There are a few Iron Hands that exemplify the chapter's creed more than Canon Var, Iron Captain of Clan Averny, the most heavily augmented veterans of their brotherhood. He is a merciless and efficient warlord who has been at the forefront of the Iron Hands wars for longer than any can remember. Sustained by ancient masterwork augmetics that encompass most of his entire body, some say that his left eye is the last original part of Canon Var, and the rest given to him have given the rest of him given over to the blessed machine. Ugh, I cannot words today. How to words. It's pretty cool.
I like his little screen that he has of a building
Yeah,
on the lower left side. That's a pretty great detail
yeah.
that he has right there. Also, he has like little hands, and that's supposed to be other entities within him or something like that. I maybe I misunderstood what they said, but it's supposed to be multiple intelligences in his body,
Oh, okay.
so he can think on the fly and be the best commander he can be.
That's rough.
Because two heads are better than one.
His extensive suite of bionics and data tethers feeds real-time battlefields data right into his mind, so he can formulate solutions on the fly. And if that isn't enough to secure victory, his enormous power, Tetsubo, will simply crush whatever stands before him.
The flesh is weak.
And white scars. Subaden
Woohoo!
Khan. As the right hand of the Great Khan and leader of the White Scars' preeminent Spearpoint Brotherhood, Subaden Khan is one of the chapter's mightiest heroes. He led the White Scars' 5th Company for over 2 centuries before being awarded command of its veterans, and his skill as a warrior is matched only by his mastery of strategy on a sector-wide scale. Now, this is a great makeup for me, but it's also kind of funny that they took Karsaro Khan's bike away from him and then gave it to somebody else.
Yeah.
But at least the White Scars have a bike again. Because not gonna lie, I put so much love into my Captain on Jet bike from 8th edition, and the fact that it was gone at the beginning of this edition, I was not best pleased. Like many of his brothers, Subaran Khan fights best from the saddle, cutting bloody swathes through hordes of foes with his elegant power lance. His grav bike packs much of heavier firepower than the steeds of its size, mounting an onslaught Gatling cannon in the front that effortlessly shreds lightly armored foes before plowing through the lines at lightning speed.
Mhm.
That is so cool. And I love that it's a spear instead of just a sword or something like that. It's very cool. I've always loved the cons on bike having a spear or lance kind of weapon. Or naginata. I love that.
I like that the spear is aimed low, so you could do like energy effects on the floor or something like that. Like it's like kicking up dust or something.
Yeah. The friendly neighbor Inquisitor says he had to get a grav bike to make up for Corsaro being on foot. Just so that way he can do donuts around Corsaro, at the chapter house. Like, look at this, Corsaro, doing donuts and wheelies. I hate you so much. Let's see. Oh yeah. So going back to the Raven Guard, friendly neighbor Inquisitor says he stepped up because he had to. He succeeded to the more worthy character. He looks amazing. I might need that model, says Garrett, since my Grey Knights will never get updated. And maybe 11th edition they'll get their Primaris upgrades.
Maybe I should sell mine before that happens. I don't see myself building them.
Everybody talking about Shrike's emo face. Kayvon, it's not just a phase, Shrike. Kalimir, words are hard. Yes.
Yes.
Talking about the con on bike. Hellwork says yours looks better. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And of course, along with these new characters, there's also new combat patrols that fit the theme of your characters here. And so there is we'll just kind of go through. There is a salamander one, and they say that aside from the intercessors, everything in this box has the ability to take some kind of flame or melt a weapon. So it's very on brand. This course, Eradicators. We got Infernus. We've got I keep wanting to say attack bike, but the ATV with meltas here. And there's some more Infernus guys, and there's some more intercessors.
Mm-hmm.
For the Imperial Fists, the stalwart gunsmen of the range, we've got some Terminators with their bolters and power fists. We've got some intercessors. And then we've got the Stern Guard veterans here. No, not Stern Guard veterans. These are the command squad here with the captain. So, yeah. So nothing too wowzers here, but you definitely get your battle line. So is that a heavy intercessor there? Maybe.
It should be, yeah.
But yeah, so we got some battle line, told the objectives. You got some Terminators. You got some heroes of the chapter. Heavy intercessors. Okay, yeah, heavy intercessors. Thank you for correcting me, my friend. The Raven Guard one, I think it looks like one of the coolest sets here. You've got some Phobos guys here with infiltrators / incursors. You've got some jump pack intercessors led by the super cool jump pack captain. And of course you've got the Invictor Tactical War Suit to confer buffs on to all of your Phobos guys here. some pretty good synergy in this set because the captain can go with the jump pack intercessors, and the um, tactical war suit can go with your Phobos guys.
Nice.
But no lightning claws. The jump pack captain gets the option of lightning claws. So maybe not a ton of lightning claws, but they're there. The Iron Hands. Now this one is kind of interesting, but like you have to specifically want these models. You know,
Yeah.
they've got the Tech Marine, cool. They've got the heavy intercessor, a lot of heavy intercessors, cool. But then you've got two of the turrets that are both kind of short range. I understand wanting to give heavy firepower to the Iron Hands, but kind of a weird mix, not gonna lie. Like
It is.
I think you really got to want specifically these miniatures.
They should have added a predator.
Yeah, I think
Something like that.
yeah. Although I think they're trying to move away from putting firstborn stuff in the kits, but
Well, no. I mean, not the predator. The one that's the Primaris one. What is that? That's like the predator.
oh, one of the gladiators.
Not Redemptor. Gladiator. Yes.
Yeah, a gladiator would have been great, or a dreadnought.
Yes. A dreadnought. Yeah, they did do a box. I bought it for the Iron Hands. I had two dreads, two Redemptors in there. So
And then
I was like,
this is, of course, I like this because white scars, but also I just really like this set because you get, first of all, you get the impulsor and
Mhm.
some assault intercessors. I think transports are great,
Mhm.
and you also get the outriders with the con on bike. I think that now, granted, he is a unique named character model, so like this may not be a box set you'll want multiples of.
Right.
And I think that's going to hurt the sales of this one a little bit because some people would be like, "Man, I want to start this army. I'm just going to get multiple combat patrols." Um, but in this case, I think that character may limit that. But I think the rest of the box is solid. You know, getting two transports and six bikes. I think that's solid. You're getting
I
fewer
think
miniatures. Let's go ahead.
no, I think people are gonna buy the box and you're gonna see that character on eBay for a lot less. So if you want to pick up a character, I think this is the time to do it once that drops.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Uh, Kalamir says, I might get the Raven Guard one. Jump intercessors and infiltrators are interesting. Exactly.
Yes.
Infiltrators have been a very strong competitive choice, staple choice for getting your screening on and keeping people out of like your deployment zone or midboard. Uh,
Does that mean Corvax is coming soon?
he's a unique name character for now. Looks at the old Space Wolves Combat Patrol Lieutenant. I mean, you are definitely right there.
Yeah.
Harold Ice Pelt.
I still have mine. Yep.
Yep. I plan on converting mine into a second of the new lieutenants or battle leaders.
Okay.
Uh,
You have to convert him, or can he just be used as a lieutenant?
I think it's still a valid loadout, although I think the only thing I really need is I want to put either I just want to replace this bolt pistol with either the plasma or the shield.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the Raven Guard. I think like the Salamanders one, very on theme, and not gonna lie, that's the best anti-tank in the game right there. Those Eraditators, or one of the
Mhm.
best anti-tank choices as far as infantry goes.
Nice.
Raven Guards, you know, actually a pretty effective set. I mean, like I said, infiltrators are a competitive choice. The jump captain and the jump intercessors, competitive choices. And then I just really like the White Scars one because getting troops, bikes, and a transport, it's solid. I think for
It
me,
is.
the losers of this round, not losers, but you know, like those who didn't make out as well are going to be the Iron Hands. I think I would put at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
and And then just above them, I would put the Imperial Fist, not because I don't like Imperial Fists, I like them just fine, but I think some heavy intercessors and some Terminators. They make a great core of your force. So if you're getting started with Space Marines, and you're like, I need some battle line and I need some Terminators, it's a great set. But for some reason, it just doesn't wow me.
Mhm.
But that's just my opinion. I'm going to show people the Chaos Dwarves you were looking at earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Tomb Kings, where do they go? Bless you, your courts now. Oh, here we go. The Hellsmiths of Hashut. Here we. Oh man, that cool thing in the
That's
background, whatever that is, looks super cool.
yeah, the bull aesthetic.
All right, here we go. Oh yeah, I could see now. The cousins of the goblin thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did something to their gene pool. the like, I like the I like the armor. I like the weapon. That is a face a mother could love.
Weird, man.
Yeah, they're chaos dwarves. They definitely leaned more into the chaos and less into the dwarves, I
Oh,
think. Oh, but man,
man, they're
that
not so much.
the axe and sword there, that looks like something kind of like Skyrim dwarven stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yes, I do like the weapons. I like that the leader who has that weapon that has the two-ended spikes at the end. It's really, really cool.
Ravengard going to give me some Sky Claws and Wolflord with pack. Nice. They're good units for sure. Garrett says, "What in the Warhammer Fantasy?" Very close. This faction is finally getting added to Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Ah, there's a little goblin cousin. He looks like he's being treated as the special ed cousin right there. What is he?
I have a goblin army.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know
You
if
know,
I'm
like
ever gonna make.
I'm just like, look, you can see like they've got all the nice weapons and armor and all the nice details, and then this guy looks kind of like Dobby here wearing rags, like
Dobby.
Harry Potter has
Has
given
to
me a
give me a
sock.
sock. That's right.
We need Draza the Ashen. I'm not familiar with that character. Tell me a little bit about him, Garrett.
He needs lotion,
The Ashen or the Ashy?
right? Then there's the twice eaten. It's that guy.
This vicious artillery piece is the Tormentor Bombard, a mortar-like weapon that lobs shots high into the air to fall upon the Hellsmith's foes. These are no ordinary munitions, but instead the raw stuff of chaos, crackling cores of dark energy formed and refined and processed demons that explode with terrible force. That's pretty cool. Lupus Canis for the Allfather.
Nice. I love this. We have to talk Leagues of VOTANN at some point.
Yep, that'll be right after this. He's a legendary lord in Warhammer Total War 3. That's cool. He's the Thrice Devoured, and he's in the Votann reveal. Ooh.
Yes, the thrice devoured. Because it's supposed to be that the Tyranids ate the VOTANN.
Oh.
But they fought back. They fought back.
That's cool. The Dominator engine embodies the Bull Father's urge to topple and crush, anointed with the blood of Duardin, who defy glorious Hashut.
See, the Lumineth has a bull kind of thing, and now the Chaos Dwarfs has a bull kind of thing. So it's a little odd to me.
Interesting.
Yeah, both have the bull aesthetic.
Within these ironclad daemon engines burns an inferno of tormented daemon matter, and the malice of those entities leaks from the eyes in hateful waves. They can be armed with bane maces or immolation cannons, and either options will guarantee a bad time for the foe.
Yeah. Have you ever been filled with chaos demon matter? It's no fun.
I have one time, but he said he wouldn't tell anyone about that. Anyways,
And the goblins were born.
or Mentor Bombadil. So, yeah, this Hellsmiths of Hashut is going on pre-order soon. Very cool. Oh, Demon Smiths, here we go. Cool little demon book. Very nice, and I love the little demon flames he's conjuring. An Ashy Elder. Bull Centaurs. Okay, you thought they were doing weird things with the goblins before. Now they've got Bull Centaurs.
That's actually the Chaos Dwarf had bull centaurs originally in fantasy.
Oh yeah. Just, some weird crossbreeding
no.
going on.
Oh yeah.
They look
yeah,
like cool models though. Jokes aside, they look like cool models.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they certainly had some fun. Put your keys in the bowl. We're gonna have a mixer party.
Keys and cell phones. No pictures. No pictures.
Keys and that's right. That's right. No pictures. No pictures.
And then I think we'll close out with the Leagues of VOTANN tonight.
Yes, Votinius Legizius.
This would be an army I'd want to buy but never pull the trigger, like steampunk balloon pirates. Yeah, I've always thought those were cool too. But obviously one I've never gone out of my way to pick up.
Oh, Rajon's Overlords. Yeah. KO. I do not have that army. That's an army I do not have.
Ooh.
Nor do I have a desire to get them.
And for our resident VOTANN player, one of two, Keegan from Gamers with Coffee also plays VOTANN, but he hasn't been on in a while. Buri Egnirson, I think this is cool. That this man has a whole ass Tyranid cloak. This is awesome.
The thrice devoured.
The thrice devoured. And the spear is pretty badass too. Thrice devoured, new special character for the Leagues of VOTANN, and he's a kin with issues. He's the last survivor of the Emberg Egnir block, a league utterly devoured by a high fleet Leviathan, and he bears the sorrow and bitterness of his lost kin, arriving unbidden to fight alongside other leagues, and for reasons entirely his own. What does he just is he the dwarf version of
He's grumpy. He's grumpy dwarf.
Caldor Drago? Does he just show up and fight and teleport away? It's a glaive, not a spear. I mean, and form and function. They're very close. They're very close. It's a blade on a stake. Burry is easily the coolest model shown off today. Like holy shit kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. It's a very cool model. I am not a league collector myself. I have thought about dipping my toe in the water from time to time, but I have too many armies as it is. But he definitely looks awesome. Mm-hmm. The Arcanist Evaluator. Now that is a name that will drive fear into the enemies. Part mad scientist, part deadly gunner, and all kin. The Arcanist Evaluator is a member of the Science Guild responsible for testing new technologies. Every battle is a field test. I love it. Where they can ensure their latest weapons are fit for mass production. That's cool. Literally fielding a mad scientist. This is why people earlier in the chat were saying Dr. Robotnik. I see now. I see. His face belongs in fantasy or anime. Exactly. A lot of people were saying earlier Dr. Robotnik. I get it now.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. His eyes are pretty wide.
I have to get one just to paint his face, his beard and hair red like Dr. Robotnik.
You got to.
Dr. Robot Kid. The Memnir Strategist. The Memnir is the first Ironkin character we've seen for the Leagues of Votann, a cunning individual with steepled fingers and strange floating tethers. It carries a gun, but that's not the reason to include him in your army. No, the plan is to assign it to a unit of Steeljack, see below, and use its Cognitar mantle to a glorious effect. Okay, that sounds kind of like the guy you put with Castellan robots for the AdMech.
Yeah.
I love the Memnir's pose, so cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool. This unusual piece of tech allows it to link to additional cerebral units, which will multiply cognitive power. In real terms, this allows you to fire Overwatch or make a heroic intervention for free each battle round, and gain or spend yield points when you're near objectives. The Ironkin Steeljacks. Now, these are some proper beefy robots. They were like, okay, so we allow AI into our organization. Let's give them some real bodies. Because so far with these guys, we've just seen them in dwarf-sized bodies. But now they're like, let's make them jacked up. That's why they're Steeljacks. Because they took the AI they had before and they got jacked.
Dark Age of Technology Part 2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Steeljacks are a unit of Ironkin equipped with heavy-duty bodies and equally heavy-duty weapons. They have been blessed by the Votann with innate martial talents, allowing them to anchor an entire battle line, shrugging off firepower that would lay even a Thunderkin below. Now, those Terminators can be a pain in the ass to remove from the field, and this is going to make them look tame? Oh my goodness. I don't want to... I don't want to face that. These new kits let you build two different types of Steeljacks, a unit with bolters and concussion gauntlets, which sounds exactly like a Space Marine Terminator, bolters and concussion gauntlets, or plasma swords, and one with the heavy Volkite disintegrator, which sounds like in a Terminator squad, the heavy weapon you would include. These guys are tough, well-armed, and have special rules to back up the talk, including a Prey Mark Crest, which gives you critical hits on enemies within range of an objective marker, and receive precision. Kiss those characters goodbye. Ooh.
That's nasty.
These really are hitting home the Men of Iron comparisons. Exactly. Chthonian Earthshakers. Chthonians, as you know in lore, don't like to wear shirts. They have to pay them overtime and a half to make them wear shirts on Chthоnia. They get these cool mortars. These high-tech mole mortars are a real blast from the past with heritage dating back all the way to the Rogue Trader era. Ooh, really the throwback. Chthonian Earthshakers are a hybrid of technologies that fire an explosive payload deep under the surface to emerge unexpectedly amidst the enemy. Each is served by a trio of kin who come with a variety of options, including different munitions. The Earthshakers can fire breacher or tremor shells, and various tools including a geomantic echolocator. Interesting. So I know that tremor shells for Space Marines, I think, reduce, and in Imperial Guard, I think, reduce movement and charge rolls. So I imagine that those will do the same. I wonder what the breacher shells will do.
No good for the wolves.
Yeah. But yeah, look out, Imperial Guard. Somebody else is bringing big orders. Fortify your ground, scrubs. They do have a mortar launcher. Them's the the Steeljacks. Caleb Muir says, them's the Robocops. I like it.
Drop it.
Capri Sun gun platform. Oh, man. Yep. The Capri Suns, or Capricus. I keep wanting to say capricious, but there's no, the ending is a little different. The Capricus is a compact light vehicle used by the Hernkin Jaegers, the kit which are the scouts, if you don't know. The kit has two build options. The Capricus Defender, the fast-moving weapons platform, and the Capricus Carrier, a 5-berth trooper transport specifically for Jaegers.
I like that.
Yeah, so this kind of reminds me of a cross between like the Space Marine ATVs in look, but also like the Eldar Venoms and stuff like that, where they
All right.
it's like a small little hover transport. It features distinctive anti-grav repellers and curved armor panels, while the crew are also clad in thick coats like other Hernkin, except for the Ironkin who can operate the gun on the back. That makes sense. That Capricus carrier is armed with a twin magnet coil autocannon at the front and another magnet coil autocannon on the top, but the Defender allows its crew space for a Magna rail cannon or high las rotor cannon. Both of those good weapons, especially. I don't see as many people running the rail cannon anymore, but I always fear the rail cannon. Ooh, and the Codex has that great looking glaive with the thrice devoured. Very cool. That is actually a really cool looking codex. New model fits my Trans-Hyperion Alliance thematically. Gonna get 3.
Nice.
Very nice. And they're releasing a new combat patrol for them. Of course, you got to get the new models separately. This new combat patrol comes with a bunch of the Terminators, a bunch with the, your battle line, and 3 of the heavy weapons guys in the back. Which, if you want the exact, it's led by a champion, 5 Hearthguard, 3 Thunderkin, and 10 Hearthkin Warriors. And that is the Leagues of Votann, and that is our news for tonight. Say what?
Well, a couple more things I wanted to mention.
Sure.
Big thing. My wife and I are big Age of Sigmar players, as well as Warhammer Underworld players. And Warhammer Underworld came out with a new release, so they're updating their season. And I'm really liking the Sylvaneth in there. They're actually elves, Centaurs. It's the second reiteration of that species that they're doing for Warhammer Underworld, which my wife and I are really excited about. They're also releasing these 4-box sets, which are older sets that have the updated rules from Emberguard. Finally, I do have to say, because I have a Nighthawk army, that Nighthawk came up with a new Poisoner, which looks absolutely amazing. He has extra arms on the back that are mixing potions, and he's releasing a potion, and there's a cloud of the poison going through, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And I'm excited for those releases coming up. I might pick up the Sylvaneth for Warhammer Underworlds, and I'm definitely going to pick up the Night Haunt new Poisoner, which is pretty amazing.
It is great that they're bringing back some of these box sets, especially some of these were kind of hard to get a hold of that just kept selling out, like the Shadeborn, which I just think that looks super cool design wise.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
apparently, when they first came out, they were very strong in Underworlds. Yeah. But to go back to what you were saying about the Underworlds, them coming out with a new Underworlds for the new Chaos Dwarves is a great way. If you just like Chaos Dwarves and you're not sure you want to get into Age of Sigmar, is a great way to kind of dip your toe in the water with the new Chaos Dwarves miniatures. And
Right.
also, if you want to look at a smaller scale game, Underworlds is it's a really fun kind of self-contained game, that you don't have to worry about adding models to expand your army or anything like that. And it's a game that you can play relatively quickly. So,
Yeah, about 45 minutes. It's pretty cool. And if you want to introduce somebody to wargaming, that's like a step, like especially a board gamer. If you want to introduce them to the world of wargaming, that's a step in the right direction, because it uses a lot of the terminology that you're going to see on the larger games.
including a board.
And it does have a board.
Yeah, like with designated, markers that, movement markers, and not using tape measure.
That's right. That's right. And then you get them up into Warcry, and then you bump on to, if they're an AOS, Warcry and then AOS, which are also their own entities. All right. Well, there it is for the news.
I will, and um, I was making you try to cram all that in like 2 minutes. Anything you want to cover on the show, I'm totally happy to bring up.
Oh, you're fine. I just did. I didn't tell you pre-show.
Oh,
That
you're
was just
fine.
something I remembered. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
Here are the flesh eater quartz he was talking about.
Some cheater cards.
It almost looks like this bat's about to lift him up off the tree.
It is such a cool model. I'm definitely picking. Well, my wife is definitely picking.
And you'll be
Barrow is
painting it
definitely.
up.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was my COVID army. Like while COVID was done, I built the entire flesh eater quartz army, and I did.
He,
You talk about horde armies. I did 120 ghouls just as chaff, man. It's crazy.
and if you want to learn how to paint some brilliant looking flesh eater quartz, he's got a bunch of tutorials over on the miniatures paintbrush that you can check out. They look incredible.
Well, thank you so much. I try to make a cemetery aesthetic for them for each base, especially the larger pieces like the Terrorgeist.
VOTANN reveals VOTANN reveals maybe want to keep working on my army. I put them on the shelf after kind of getting bored with how few options there were. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize you had a VOTANN army. That's awesome. Like I said, ever since the models came out, I like the models. They made, like, before they even came out, I kind of wanted to check them out a little bit, but I haven't committed because I'm starting to run out of space a little bit. But I know that won't stop me from starting other armies. But like I still have an entire Sisters of Battle army still new on sprue, which
Oh, nice.
having one army still new on sprue is uh, laughter to TMP there, has a, who has an underground store in his basement. But
I do. Yeah, that's it. It's now moved into my bedroom, and it's taking up most of my in fact, I just take a picture of it and just like posted it on the website, and people are flipping out. Like, what are you doing? You could buy another house for that. I say probably. I don't know. I have an addiction.
and he was like, "That's a good idea. Then I'll have space for all this."
That's right. That's right. I'll fill up that house. No. I just I did one of those things, and I think people can relate, I guess. Was I fell upon some hard times, and I did some retail therapy. It's all Warhammer. It's like, oh, the Christmas comes boxes are coming out. Let me get two of everything. Just
I
there you go. And then, oh, look, this box is coming out. Oh, what is that? For the Black Templars? Is that a new combat patrol? Oh, okay. And it has a little tank for transport? Yeah, I'll get 3 of those boxes. And I just went nuts. Really. But my largest army by far on sprue or anywhere is my orcs. I have a ridiculous, close to 10, no, 8,000 points or something like that. I don't know. I can't even tell. It's just the largest model count that I own and the largest army that I own.
I was
Because
I
of
was
you guys.
I was telling him yesterday we were hanging out, and I was recounting, how like my half year of custodies has kind of come to a close, and my overall feelings about the journey. And I was like, man, as fellow brother who loves space wolves and close combat and stuff like that, I think you should try out the custody sometime. And he patiently let me get through my checklist of reasons why he might like the custodies. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I have way over 3,000 points, brand new in box." I was like, "Oh okay."
Dude, I bought a lot of those Christmas Battle Force boxes. They came out with 3 of them, and I have all 3 of them. And then I have, like, because I like jet bikes, I think I bought 2 more of the combat patrols. So, and I have, oh my god, just so many things. The only thing I don't have is the Forge World models, which, like the dreadnoughts and the tanks and stuff like that. They're a bit expensive, and I went Forge World for my Tau, so I don't really want to go Forge World for my
Well,
custodies, especially since I haven't built them yet.
well, We'll talk about that once we get off the show. But I might be able to help with that. Uh, yeah. What are we talking about? Oh, I think we were just talking about how many armies TMP had. I don't even remember. I apologize, chat. I have some pretty bad ADD, and I don't even remember how we got to the topic of TMP's armies.
I don't know.
Unbuilt plastic. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I diverted to you when I was like, oh yeah, I didn't start VOTANN because I'm running out of room. I still have an army of sisters new on sprue, and then that just
yeah,
made me divert attention to. I'm not the only one. Look at TMP.
that's right. Don't feel bad or don't give him any grief. You're gonna give grief for unpainted armies. This is this guy right here. It's the impulse buy king. Oh, that looks cool. I need 10 of them for no reason.
All right, guys. I finally. God dang it! I hate these. I hate bolters across the chest. Okay, wait.
Oh yeah,
Okay, look, guys. I finally finished my first blood Grey Hunter of the night.
I've done 5 blood claws. I have my
Uh,
5 blood claws done.
I finished painting the black stripes on my rubrics. So tedious, but worth it. Nice.
Nice.
Plastic is plastic, unbuilt or otherwise, in all kit bashes.
It's
Heck yeah.
true.
Heck yeah. And, I think a lot of people forget that, sometimes just you can be a hobby collector, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes just the part, anything in the hobby that brings you joy is okay. Like if you're collecting it, if you're taking up too much space in the house and your wife is staring at you in a loving but judging demeanor. No, I'm just kidding. My wife is great. Um, it's all. There's the loving and judging demeanor. I love you. My blood claws, except the pack leader, are only bodies for now. One has a chainsword. Very nice. Ah, good to see you working along with us. I programmed an embroidery machine to do a hat. Very nice. Oh, hey, that is a hobby update. I changed out the step on my 3D printer yesterday, so tomorrow I'm going to start printing up stuff for Hellworks to start customizing his wolves and join in on, get started on the challenge as well.
Very nice.
So actually, I was hanging out because man, undoing exactly 349 bolts and screws while working on your FEP is very tedious, and so I got to hang out with Brother Rob while working on that, and that made the process go so much faster. Oh, I'm not building right now. That's from last weekend and Tuesday. And Tuesday I glued an arm. Hey, gluing an arm, any progress forward is progress.
Mhm.
All right. I have a couple of things I wrote down during our chat yesterday, and I think these are just going to be questions for my brother for us to close out uh, the night.
Okay.
We one of the things we were talking about, and chat, let me know how you feel about this. But 30K kind of lost their minds last weekend because a lot of their units got moved from the main books to legacies. And if you're not familiar with legacies, it's a new term, but basically it's legends for 30K stuff.
Hmm.
And of course, I've seen a lot of memes go around of people freaking out uh, about losing their units, and 40K players uh, with memes of the guy who plays Green Goblin's son.
The hobgoblin.
Yeah, the Hobgoblin. Green Goblin's son. Anyways, the Hobgoblin looking over at the 30K players who are losing their minds over losing units and going, first time.
Yeah. Right.
Because at 40K, we are very familiar with the concept of losing our units.
Oh, AOS too.
Yeah, AOS 2, they got hit, I think, for the first time since the Great Scouring and ending of Worlds in Fantasy. Uh, Earlier this year or last year? I think earlier this year.
Is it this year?
Um,
Yeah. A lot of my Stormcast Eternals got invalidated.
yep. James
Yeah.
Franco, thank you, neighborhood friendly neighborhood inquisitor.
James Franco, that's right. That's his
I
name.
could see his face, and his name was just escaping me. Kalamir says,
Mhm.
I'm planning on getting stuff done tomorrow. Speaking
Nice.
of scouring, books incoming. You know, that's probably why that phrase popped in my mind. The
Hmm.
Scouring, the new series following the Siege of Terra, will be releasing soon. That was announced
Oh, that's
today.
right. That's right.
So if you've been following the Horus Heresy, if you've been following the Siege of Terra, or it's its own standalone series, so if you just want to jump in at this point in the lore, the
Yep.
Scouring could be for you.
What happened after the death of the Emperor?
Lose. Yep. They said on the stream today that weapon options might come back in the future from plastic releases.
Yeah.
It could be. But for now, and the legacies have kind of, calmed some people down, but some people are still upset because while they said some things might come back, a lot of people who are kind of experienced in 40K and 30K are under the feeling or impression that Legends is where things go to die. You know. I can't wait for it to be 50 books long, so that way Korax can only get one. Oof. More books is good. Uh, how many points is too many? Too many. What's the biggest game you've participated in or watched? As hell works. That's a great question.
Ooh. I played all my Space Wolves versus all my Tau in a battle report that I put on my channel. I didn't even count the points, but it was a full half of the table. I even include Night Titans, the full half of the table versus the other full half of the table. I had two
Nice.
Night Titans for the Space Wolves. One was a converted piece that I had for competition, and the other one was the I forgot his name. The Canis Rex. I had him as well. But yeah,
Nice.
and I played that on the channel step by step. You can see that with the new terrain when I built the terrain for the Space Wolves. That was my biggest, and it took me a month to finish because I mean I had a table set up and nobody was playing on the table but me. I just had it set up and then nobody else was around. So I just left it set up for about a month and just did one turn at a time and thought about every option I possibly had, forgotten nothing,
That's
and filmed
awesome.
a battle report. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check out his channel. Um, Mine, I participated in an apocalypse game at last year's narrative event here at the War Dome event convention here, and it was literally everybody in the narrative event, and it was like a U shape that was like two tables long and then a table sideways, three tables across in the middle, and then two tables long back from that, and so like just a big U shape of tables. And if you had the range, you could start on one end and shoot all the way down to a table that was like on the U shape on the other side. It was pretty crazy. And like
That,
it was like the different battlefields had different like themes, so you could like start off in the forest, go through like the Mechanicus sector and shoot into the urban ruins like the Mechanicus sector was like on the outskirts of the city and shoot down, like I think one person had a had yeah, Brother Atlas had Basilisk that was bombarding like into the city ruins from like back in the
indirect
forest.
fire.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would have to take a nap during games that long. Yeah, it did get kind of tired. We had a lunch break in the middle and everything. But on the bright side of the game, that big with like, I think we had 16 people playing. There's going to
Mhm.
be times where you're like, all right, I've contributed my part of the fight. I'm going to go sit down for a while everybody else rolls. So there's definitely some spots for break.
That reminds me, not a 40K game, an AOS. I did AOS narrative at Nova Open, not last year, the year before. And I had a similar thing. It was a siege, and there was a big castle wall, and we had like the forces of chaos versus the forces of order, and I was playing my flesh eater courts, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, we had similar. We had quite a few people playing it in the teens as well. I remember that. But I guess that's if 40K would be the Tau versus the Wolves, and AOS would have definitely been that game at the Nova Open, Nova
That's
Narrative.
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool as it sounds, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor wants GW to take a big risk and do a series about the unification wars on Terra. That is cool, but I think that might take away of some of the mystery of the Emperor.
Yeah.
Kalamir says, I'm trying to follow the heresy, but the books are old and make it impossible to find a physical copy of. Hellworks suggests looking online at half price. Yeah, I mostly have mine on Audible, but I try and pick up anytime I go to half price or anything like that. I try and pick up copies where I can find them. But for like where I want specific books, like I collected the Gaunt's Ghost books, I wanted to specifically those. I had to basically Amazon or eBay them. So going back to what we were talking about with 30K players losing their losing options to legacies or legends, and this is a great question for you guys here in the chat as well. What is the most painful or memorable mini that you've lost to legacies or legends? And that's
Nice.
safety to you, Rob.
I would say most painful. Most painful, I guess, would be Age of Sigmar because I lost like 1,000 points.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now some of those
I
came
get
back,
it.
I think, right? Because the Stormcast, the original Battle Line guys,
Yeah.
they
The
they were lost for a little bit, and then they came back when the new released with the new. Gosh, what are they called?
yeah.
Shield and Hammer guys.
Redemptor. No. And I have like a whole bunch of them. I don't. Prosecutors. No.
Prosecutors are shooty guys, I think.
Yeah.
We'll
I.
remember it when we're trying to sleep later tonight.
Of course we are.
Oh
It's been a
man.
while since I painted up a Stormcast, but
Friendly.
yeah, they came back. But I'm sorry, the wizard casting ones are the ones that they eliminated completely. That and
Oh
Beastman.
yeah. Oh yeah. Losing all of Beastmen is terrible.
Yeah.
I started in 9th edition, so I haven't really lost edition. That's good to hear, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor. My
Nice.
entire Night Lord's army was over 6,000 points because they went
Um,
undivided in 4th, and mine were Khorne, and I wasn't going to play undivided.
right.
Ooh. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, that sucks.
My favorite ones were the things that I think I put the most time not only into painting, but into building as a character and kit bashing and customizing. My Wolf Lord.
Retributors.
Yeah, those look great.
Retributors, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There
Retributors,
it
the
is.
guys who would. Um, but like my Khan on jet bike, my Wolf Lord Mythos, my battle wagon that I converted into a bone breaker. These things I put a lot of like attention and a lot of time like building it
I
out
love.
as giving it an identity, a character, and I think those were the most painful for me. Oh no no no
Yeah.
no! Also 7th edition going to 8th edition, the loss of Bran Redmaw, my favorite Space Wolves character ever. Ah, that one hurts so much. Phone's dying. Big props to you both. Update soon. Awesome, brother. We are about to call it a night here.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw one more question at you if you don't mind, brother.
Okay.
Have you ever been gotten noticed for being TMP outside of your circle? So outside of your channel, outside of your Facebook groups? Have you ever
Oh
gotten
yeah.
gotten
Yeah.
noticed?
So I got noticed in Nova Open several times, but locally, just going to my Sam's Club, I said, I was just going shopping. It's like, wait a second, you're Rob from the Miniatures Paintbrush, and I'm like, yes, I am. It felt so weird. Like,
That is
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's like, yeah, I watch your channel, and then I go to couple gaming stores too. They're like, I know you. you're that dude. And I'm like, yes, I'm definitely that dude.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I wanted to ask because I know you'd been to really big conventions like Nova.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I hang out with bigger names and stuff like that. So people start to get to know me in circles and stuff.
That's
But
awesome. You are
yeah, I'm just like a fledgling channel.
you want to name drop any of them?
Well, the people I hang out with,
Mhm.
Eric Swinson, let me see, Izzy, um, Alessandro Gabi, let me see, Vince Venturella, who else do I hang out with? This Adam Loper, Uncle Adam.
Uncle Adam.
Um, yeah, he hangs out too. Um, um,
I'm using that as
Sam
go ahead.
Sam Lenz.
Sam Lenz.
And
Oh, such a brilliant painter, Sam Lenz. I
yeah.
I use this as a segue because you can see that on his channel, he actually has a lot of interviews with some of the top painters in the world.
Yeah,
He
you
calls
hang
the
out.
series Pro Painted. There's one with Izzy.
Yeah.
There is next Pro Painted.
Before
Scrolling.
that is Alessandro Gabi. I think that was the last.
Yep, there's Tavari in there.
Tavarian, yeah, that's right.
So super.
Although Tavarian and I have not hanged out in person, but we got introduced through Vince, and yeah, he's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can find some excellent interviews on his channel. And here's some of the other things that you can find on his channel, such as some hobby tips like tips for drilling out your barrels or the tissue trick. You
Oh
can
yeah.
find some really good specific tutorials on here's uh, the Land Raiders where he's showing a specific technique called panel modulation, which is if you're learning the airbrush, doing those specific highlights in the center of the panel or directionally if you're trying to give it a direction
That's
um,
right.
to really bring out those highlights. Undershading and glazing, gray fur tutorials. Let's look a little further up. He's got a Logan Grimnar. Hey, I may need
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Cow Desert
Yeah.
Bases. You can check out all of these great tutorials and content over on
Yeah.
his channel.
Lenses. Thank you. I do it for the love of painting and because I never thought I could paint like the way I do now. And when I look at stuff, I'm like, I did actually something. Like I did something. It looks great. It looks like those models I wanted to buy in the store that the painter said that's not for sale. Like I'm like, yeah,
That's
that's pretty
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Hey, Cheek Tenders, a brilliant Dead by Daylight streamer over on Twitch. You should definitely
Nice.
check her out on Twitch. Cheek Tenders just said, "Hey, well, brother, thanks. Just dropping in to say hi. Thank you so much, Cheek Tenders. We really appreciate you, and I love your content. And definitely, I recommend anyone who likes watching video game Let's Plays, especially some of the games like Dead by Daylight, go check her out over on Twitch. She is really, really solid content creator. I really enjoy. Hey, I know her. Also, the lovely lady of Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor. So, yeah, check them out for sure. Once, there was a special guest appearance where Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor had to deliver a glass of water midstream. All right, anything to close out the night, brother? Any closing words or thoughts?
Um, being in the golden age of the hobby, you may want to take up more than you can handle. But remember that if you chip away at something a little bit each day, eventually you're going to reach your goal, no matter what that goal is.
And I definitely can say that, having support systems are really great for that too, by the way. Having
Yeah.
someone like Brother Rob, TMP here, that I can always call upon when I need some painting advice or something like that, or sometimes just words of encouragement, like, "Hey, man," like with the when I was like, "I'm not so sure about doing these tribal markings or this masking," he's like, "Give it a try. You can always paint
Yep.
over it. I know you can do it." Sometimes that boost of confidence there is just enough to be like, "I can do this. Let me do this."
That's right.
So
That's
uh,
right.
I suggest uh, surround yourself with similar hobby positivity. Put people in your circle or find a group of people that you know are going to pump you up because they know and they want you to know that you can paint however you want and make it to the next level if that's what you're trying to do. Or if you're not trying to get to the next level and you just want to put an army on the table that looks decent, you can do that too. Whatever you want to do, you can achieve it.
Mhm.
Caleb Veer says, a glass of water? Preposterous. I called my friend the other day to build models together just to advance our respective armies so we can finally play each other on a real table. Hey, those group hangout sessions for getting your hobby on can be huge. Just like
Absolutely.
you know, hanging out with Rob this week and last week really helped me get my build on. Building to me is the most boring and tedious part unless I'm focused on kit bashing something. And so be able to do that while chatting hobby with somebody else made it not seem tedious anymore. And I got way more done than if I were sitting there like ho hum doing it by myself. So that's great motivation tip, Caleb Beer. All right,
Absolutely.
guys. Those are our thoughts on the new reviews today, or new not re- releases, announcements today. Jeez,
Announcements. Yeah.
words. And that's our hobby progress for the week and some thoughts on some other stuff too. If you guys liked any of our chats tonight, please make sure that you grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below and feel free to be any of tonight's for ridiculous conversations. Go for it. Painting, good to see you. I'm so sorry. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to Brother TMP
Oh,
or any of our friends, down in the link below. And if you're not subscribed to this guy, we'd love to have you as part of the pack here at Wolf Brother Hobbies. Until next time, guys, stay
stay
frosty.
frosty. Pretty awesome. I got my 5 guys done.